who want to ask questions and see what's going on with Narrain Grain. Um, for those who watch this and don't actually listen to what I have to say in about 20 minutes' time, when I say it 3 times to other people, I'm sure. My YouTube for this week is not quite up yet. I'm working on it. Had a few copyright issues. Looks like they're nearly sorted here. Just in the middle of having a bit of a look at them. I use a licensing thing called Licked, and for some reason Licked hasn't cleared the copyright on it yet. But I also had another copyright on it as well. What we got? Yeah, so just waiting for the copyright to be cleared on it, and that shouldn't take too long. Hopefully Licked can get that sorted, because it usually you don't have to do anything and it clears it. So, but anyway, if you're looking for the YouTube this week, just know it's coming, but it's just going to take a little while. News for Narrain Grain, we've got plenty of hats coming in. Start off with Aurora cap. Shows the picture I got of the Aurora Australis back, when was that? Springtime, I think. October, I think. This is a cap designed by my lovely wife and daughter. It is designed for chicks, the chick cap. If you want one, go and find them on the website. They are $35 plus shipping. And probably coming up soon, I'm going to announce a bit of a giveaway that's going to be happening. Anyone who buys a hat will be included into this giveaway. So if you're waiting for a special or something, there's no special, but there will be a giveaway coming. Once I get the last of the hats on board, that's the plan. Anyone who's bought a cap, sort of since I released the Riverina Sunset hats, will be automatically in the draw, so don't feel like you're going to miss out. The prize at this stage, although I haven't announced the thing yet, the prize will be Narrain Grain Leatherman. So if you're interested in a Leatherman, buy a hat, and you might go in on. You'll go in the draw to win one. Other caps we've got here at the moment: Riverina Sunset caps, the Laser Bucket caps in stock. Got the red ones. Got the what else have we got? And the Aurora cap. So that's all I've got at the moment. There's another 3 coming, so won't be too long away. Hope you can all hear this clearly. I've got my little mic working again. G'day, Mark. How you going, mate? Yeah. Anyway, you got any questions, guys? Hit me up. Send us a like. Send us a subscribe for the channel if you're not part of the channel. And yeah, we'll try and keep it up live and interesting. But at the moment, I'm getting very close to the end of fertiliser, except on this last paddock that I've been sowing. Obviously, you'll see that in the video that's coming. But if you yeah, we've basically finished that, working through the fertiliser, and there's a lot of rain predicted for the end of the week. So talking anywhere up to at least an inch at the moment. So that will set a lot of people up, because there's been just a few people have been missing out on it, particularly to the north of us. So they'll be happy to see that. So just looking at it now, there's 9 mils forecasted Tuesday, and then 23 on Friday, 9 mils on Saturday. So that's a significant rainfall. That will help a lot of people out depending on where it falls, which is good for all of us. We could use as much rain as we could get up in the hills to try and get a little bit of subsoil moisture, and then hopefully get some runoff into the catchments. Otherwise, anyone who does summer cropping is going to be in a lot of strife. So yeah, anyway, yeah, so that's sort of where we're at. As obviously we grow corn in the summer, and if the things don't turn around pretty soon, we're not going to be growing much corn, I don't think, if any at all. So just a matter of time to see how that goes. But yeah, anyway, guys, make sure you introduce yourself, send us any questions you got, and we'll continue on. So we got, just looking here, I've got Jimmy's coming back on board this week. He's been away over in WA, so you'll see a bit more of him on on the videos, and obviously the old man come back. He was over in Italy, but he's been back for a week or two now. He just recently bought a caravan, which is a bit of a funny story with the caravan. I put it up as soon as he got it on one of the videos, and it was at night. It was the one where we were all having a few beers for the going away for the Frenchies. And unbelievably, the fella, so it was a couple that owned it. His grandkids saw the video, recognised the caravan, and actually told the people who sold the caravan to my old man. So it was a completely out of the left field, because I don't think the people he bought it off were farmers at all. So I have no idea what those kids were doing watching agricultural YouTube, but I'm very grateful because it made for a very funny story. I couldn't believe it when the old man told me. Obviously, the owners told Dad when he rang them about something, and yeah, I couldn't believe it. I think maybe the grandkids as parents, the kids of these people might be farmers. Maybe I can't come up with any other reason why they'd be watching an agricultural YouTuber's two grandkids. Hold on, let me get rid of a few of these wakers up. It's already begun. Move you. I'm going to take a wild stab and say, Penny's only that you're taking a piss, but if that's the case, I feel sorry for you, buddy. How much does snowmelt contribute to the humidity filling so you have irrigation water? A heap. It is like its number one source is it comes straight from that snowmelt. So yeah, that plays a big part. You'll see the actual level come down to like 10 or 11 or 15%, and then suddenly go up to 60% when that snowmelt hits in the springtime. So the more snow we get, the better water chance we have up there. So yeah, that is a contributing factor. It's the biggest contributing factor. But if you've got wet hills up there, wet mountains, and then you get a big 2-inch runoff like that, you can have it contribute very, very quickly. You can go up, 10 to 15 to 20% very quickly in that dam. So something to keep in mind when these bigger rains are coming through, like the one I just mentioned before. When they come in a rush, and that becomes good. Hold on, I'm getting left behind you. Sorry, Mark. Not sure if that will go away. I'm having a few issues with all of the internet this week. It's been a pain in the butt. I really need to get a booster in this room. G'day, JP. How you going, mate? What's happening over in South Africa as we speak? We get a few South Africans in here, actually. G'day, Fernando. G'day, only Farms Gaming. Yeah, go on, mate. Seen your video the other day. Means looking not so bad. Not sure if that was our video or not. I haven't got any beans. We've got canola, barley, wheat, and corn are our fall. Haven't had any beans for a fair while now. Anyway, yeah. Where's the weekly tricky? So, Anita, it's I said at the start, but obviously not many people are in here by then. It's coming. I was having a few issues. I'm just looking at it here now. I'm having a few issues with copyright. I have a licked subscription, LSCKD subscription, and because there's a little bit of music that's copyrighted in there, the licked subscription actually gives me use of that particular song, and I've got it in there. It should be working. It's unlisted here at the moment. I'm just waiting for them to clear it, and when they clear it, I will make it listed. I apologise for the delay. I started this process at 5 o'clock, and I'm still here at 8 o'clock. Not getting much love here for some reason. When the copyright goes away, which I expect to see in the not too distant future, I'm surprised it hasn't cleared itself up already. Anyway, doesn't matter. Well, it is coming. Here for spreading fat and making hay. Yeah, okay, yep. Very well, sort of similar. So we're not quite in the haymaking stage yet. We're doing we are doing a bit of fert spreading, no hay. Finish the sowing as I mentioned. Spraying, maintenance. I've got about 5 different maintenance jobs on at the moment. I'm working on getting the bucket the bucket off and the 9620R over to Finley to get its pivot pins done. I had a bit of an issue with our dryer setup this week, and it managed to actually shear the. Well, I'm not exactly sure. It's a gearbox and a three-phase motor, and it's shorn something in between them, which didn't impress me much. Mainly because it's about 50 metres in the air, so, well, probably not that 20 metres, but anyway, you get the point. It's a crane job to fix it, unfortunately. So not overly impressed about that. That'll probably be on next week's YouTube. You'll see bits and pieces of that. What else will be happening this week? Obviously, there's a little bit of trucking going on. We will be taking. There's truckers are on their way. They're going to Kingaroy in Queensland with popcorn, so that's on its way. First thing tomorrow, I think, and I've got another load going down to Coleraine as we speak, which is down near Hamilton in Victoria. So yeah, bit going on the truck end, but we will see a little bit less truck action at the moment because they're doing longer loads. That's good. Any thoughts on tractor upgrades? You talk about upgrading the tractor or upgrades in the tractor, Mark, just out of curiosity, before I answer that one. Did the corn stubble work out okay for you guys? Will you be doing the corn stubble again? That's a good question. We have had a little bit of interest in doing it permanently going forward. Look, I'm not sure. It's a lot of work. It was good money, but it was a lot of work. And to be honest with you, it's just the wrong time to be making bales in the middle of winter. You know what I mean? Like we were very blessed this year to have a window where we didn't get too much rain, and we were able to get a fair bit baled and windrowed and whatever. But for the same reason that I was happy to do it this year, I said I don't really want to do it next year because it's taking away from the winter crop that comes behind the corn. So it's a little bit of a thing. I like the money. I like doing it. It worked out very well this year, but I'm not gonna. Probably not gonna have another go at it. I don't think. We'll see how we go. You've got to have the market for corn straw. This year we had it. Most years you don't. You know what I mean? New tractor any upgrades are existing. You can talk about. So new tractor upgrades for us. We're probably looking at a 715 quad track to replace our older of our 2600s. We could use it on a cedar. They look very good. We had one on demo. If you're interested in having a look at a bit of that stuff, it was on TikTok and Facebook, Instagram back July last year, I think it was. So go and have a look at that. We had the 715. It was quite good. Only thing I'll say, it was almost identical to a newer 600 in every way, except just a bit different bonnet, different engine setup, obviously, and a little bit noisier was the one thing that surprised me. They are a little bit noisier already, those 600s. And the 700 was worse, particularly on the outside, but that's only a problem for other people. So 700 is on the cards. Don't know when. Probably when the interest rate just keeps coming down a bit further. And the other thing I will be looking at is replacing our 340 Magnum, the one you see in all the spreading videos. It'll probably get replaced with a 310, and that will purely be for spreading and corn planting is what my plan is. I really want to get the 380 Magnum, which is AFS Connect style with the Pro 1200, and the 310 on the Pro 1200 system, so I can just quickly transfer lines from one to the other. That having the lines on the strip tiller and having the lines on the three on the 310, they really got to be the same. Otherwise, it's if you're slightly off the line, it can become a real problem there. How are we doing on the rain? So I haven't had any rain, I don't think, last week. As I was saying before, just looking at the forecast here, we got 9 mils forecast for Tuesday and 23 mils on Friday, plus another 9 mils. That being said, these forecasters get a little bit how you going on the weekends, so you don't know what they're doing. Hey Tate, what's going on, man? What engine is the 700 horsepower model as the 600 horsepower is a QSX? No, so the 600 horsepower is on the Quadtrax. It is the 9620R is a QSX 15. On the Quadtrax, it's a Fiat something. I can't actually tell you what the bloody name of that the model of that engine is. Someone might know what it is. So they're a Fiat motor made in Italy, I believe. Would you ever consider an 8RX? I have considered an 8RX. I do like the 8RXs. I do like the idea of the tracks on all four corners on a Magnum. I think it would work really well with a strip tilling program. Getting my brother to see that though is probably another matter. They're pretty expensive as a tractor. We're sort of already set up his case, and not sure. I like the idea, the whole idea of the tracks and whatever. The narrow style tracks a little bit up to interpretation. So yeah, look, I'm a fan of them. I think I could make it work on our farm. At the time when they came out and I was really looking at them, we were doing a lot of road miles, doing corn planting for contracting, and we couldn't justify getting those tracks down the road 40, 50, 60 kilometres, trying to just road it and keep the tracks in good shape. They go through them pretty quick when they're thin and do a lot of roading, I think. So yeah, that's why. Crops are definitely looking for a drink. Yeah, that's 100%, Caleb. Yeah. What are we up to tomorrow? So tomorrow, I got to have a bit of a debrief with my brother and see where we're at. We're talking about corn fronts today already because we need to get one on order for our X9. For those who haven't been, might have missed that, our two case headers are going for another X9. So we have to actually transfer our corn front either across under the new one, which is not much of an option, or we buy a new one. At this stage, I don't particularly really want to invest in a new corn front while there's a chance that we're not going to get a corn crop or a decent corn crop this year. So that's what's going. That's where we're thinking with a corn front. But yeah, to forecast 7-0, what they are doing, 0%. Well, no, sometimes they say it rains, and sometimes they say it won't rain, and they'll be right 50% of the time. That's about as accurate as they get. The Case IH Steiger 715 Quadtrac tractor is powered by a 16 lead FPT Cursor, 16 TST twin stage turbo engine. Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah, so I think that's a little bit bigger than this. I'm going to look it up before I make a dick of myself, but I'm pretty sure the 600 horsepower Quadtrac is only a 13 litre. Yeah, I'll see that. FPT engine. What are your thoughts on the New Holland T6 Auto Commands? Ever driven one? No, I haven't, Caleb. I don't know anything about them, I'm afraid. I've never really come across them. 600, Quadtrac 600 horsepower. Would you consider a 16-row corn frame for good crops cover? Yes, definitely. You need 16. I see people running X9s with the 12s. They're just not quite good enough. Corn is very speed dependent. Depending on the front, it's a little bit hard to explain, but if you've got gathering chains, I'm going to butcher this in front of someone and go, yeah, and someone will go, no, that's not right. Say that's the corn stalk rollers in the front, and this is the corn. It should come down like this till about 3/4 of the way along the stalk roller. About 3/4 of the way, you want it exiting out the bottom. So speed is very, very critical to corn fronts. And the 16 row, we saw that clearly with the demo that we had. We had a demo of an X9 1000 with a 16 row John Deere front, and it was perfect. It was spot on. So just going to do that with our 1100s, and we'll put a chopping front on it. The John Deere one we had wasn't a chopping front. We'll put a chopping front on it, and yeah, no, it's should suck a bit of engine, power, but we were doing anywhere from 100 and I think we averaged around about 130 tonne per hour. But when it's up at 180, they really do woof the corn through. They are corn eating machines. The same with all headers. It's easy for them. Here by us, we want to demo the 715 quadro. Yeah, no, it looks like a really good platform there, JP. I think everyone will go there eventually. Just people if you need the horsepower now, you'll buy one. I could use the horsepower, but I don't necessarily need it. But in the interest of just keep trading on, we'd probably end up with one, I'd say. Tractordata.com, that might be handy. 12.9 litre. There you go, I was right. 12.9 litres for the 787 cubic inch. Same thing, which is 600 horsepower, maximum rated 660 horsepower. So the 715's rated 715 up to 780, I believe. New John Deere's have a range through there, but their biggest one goes from 830 to 910 or something. It's a monster. I know a couple of blokes on TikTok, or one particular bloke on TikTok who's got a new 830. It looks like a very good bit of gear. I just like the quad track, so we'd probably end up with a quad track, a 715 one eventually, I think. Yeah, so that's it. 12.9 litres. I'm pretty sure that's the same motor as what's in 9250 or the 8250, one or the other. A water price still so high where you are? You have permanent water. We have permanent water, so we get an allocation, and the we can buy water in as well. Yeah, so it's one of those things with the water. You can we have an allocation. The government sets how much allocation we get, and then you can just buy the water outright. I think at the moment it's $200 or $250 or even $300 per meg, which is too much to grow anything. So a bit of a problem for us. Hey guys, just while I'm running through these questions, make sure you give us a like. It helps extend my reach out. I'm trying to get as many subscribers on board with all these videos. I'm still waiting on this copyright to be cleared up with Licked. I might have to text them. This may end up being a tomorrow's job to get this new YouTube out. It is what it is. I can't make it go any quicker. No def on the bigger JDs. There's no def on the quad tracks either, I don't believe. Not unless you need to. I think in America they have it with AdBlue. In Australia we don't have AdBlue on anything, so it works out pretty good. They did have AdBlue on my 9620R though, which is turned off. 600 is 12.9 litre. Yep, that's right. 18 litre GD has no def. Yep, that's right. So the thing that they do have though is a ECR engine. EGR, that's it. EGR. They have engine gas recirculation. That's how they get the emissions down. So yeah, EGR have their own issues. You're essentially running burnt carbony sort of soot exhaust back through the motor, or at least to a certain extent. EGRs were not a big winner when it came to trucks. In fact, they went and came out pretty quick. So look, I'm not too sure about the EGR thing there. Add blue deletes, bad will do that not affect. So we got one on the 9620R. It gave us a lot of troubles there for a couple of weeks. If you go back a couple of videos, just look at my videos here now. Be back around the I'm trying to find where it was. Around the baling ones and a day in the life of the cedar. There we go. Regrading continues in canola crop tour. You'll see I had a lot of issues getting our AdBlue right. Whoever did the previous delete on it made a botch of it. So yeah, that was a bit of a problem. And the bloke who did the new tune, they are called Agro Eco Power. They're a European company here in Australia now. They fixed it and it will. It's been running pretty good ever since. It took them a little while to get it right, but once they got it right, it was good. How much is the new X9 going to outperform your old headers? That's a great question, Tate. So on paper, our X9 against a 9250 and an 8250 was doing about 40. So across the whole thing, 100%, 43% of the work was getting done by the X9, and the other 57% or thereabouts was being done by the cases. So slightly more to the cases, but just having the consolidation going back from three headers back to two will give us a bit better in paddock management. And I think there's a lot of times when you're running the X9, probably not quite as fast as it could be because it's waiting for a chase spinner. It's waiting for a case-setter that's in its way. I think if you really got it streamlined, we'd just have two sort of in the paddock running as hard as you could. I'll run the front one, someone else can run the back one, and just keep up. So yeah, that's where we're going with the X9. I'm a big fan of the platform. I think they will match nearly anything on the market at the moment. There's a lot of people that don't think they will. The proof is in the pudding when it's come to our particular farm. It has been really good, particularly in barley. It's nearly 80% better than the red ones in barley, so it is quite good. How do you and Jimmy manage the business and work aside? Does summer cropping win? A good question, Cameron. I presume being a Haberman, you're somewhere to the east of us, not by too far away. So basically, I run the trucks generally from day to day. We do everything I say. We can switch and chop and change. He generally runs the spray. He generally runs the summer crop and the corn. He generally runs the irrigation, although we will chop and change the irrigation come corn time. I usually run the sowing and I usually run the harvest, my two things, plus fertiliser. We sort of both do that. Every day we interchange it coming in and out all the time. It's some days he's got some contracts coming for the truck, some days I've got them. I try and look after it and get all the time slots and that done, but we can both do that. We can both do all of this. I'm not real good with the spraying, but our worker Patrick is very good at the spraying. So Jimmy's sort of got a good backup there. That being said, I get Joe sometimes over on the corn planting. Sometimes I'll do the corn planting. Sometimes Pat will do the corn planting and the strip tilling and all those things. We do sort of have our areas, but we do blend and mix, and we're always talking to each other about it. Jimmy and I, and all of us, just on a side note, for communication, we generally use Snapchat a lot. So we have a group Snapchat for all of the employees. I have one for the trucking side. I have one even at sowing harvest time for the sowing crew and the harvest crew. And then I generally have one between me and Jimmy all the time. It's a godsend. We would discuss more over the Snapchat than we do generally day to day, face to face, because most of the time we're not face to face. So, yeah, that's a good little thing. We use Snapchat for nearly all of our communication. And obviously, if you need to make a phone call's easy. Good question. Cameron, was it? Yeah. Are you looking forward to seeing Welker's new? Oh, Big Bud hitting the side. Look, I haven't been watching too much of the Welker stuff, Mark. I did watch one today and I saw the Big Bud you're talking about. I haven't seen what they're sort of doing with it. I do like the Big Buds. I'm not a massive watcher of Welker stuff. I generally watch Millennial, Larson's, and a little bit of Mike Mitchell. I like Fast Egg Montana. They're the four I sort of stuff with a bit. Um, for those who don't know, Farmer JB is only just down the road from me, probably 50 k's away. I like Farmer JB stuff. I watch all his stuff. I watch Thomas Brooks stuff as well a little bit. But yeah, JB is he's a bloke I know. I wouldn't say he's a mate, but he's definitely a bloke I know and have been talking to fairly often lately because obviously with all this YouTube stuff, we're discussing different YouTube things. So it's been interesting and very helpful having JB. Go and follow Farmer JB. He's a wealth of knowledge, and if particularly if you like the money side of things, he's very good at that. So Farmer JB, go find him. Do they affect it when you take it back to the dealer to work on the machine? I was told somewhere that they aren't allowed to touch them after they're deleted. Look, I don't know. These blokes know our machine. They know it's been deleted. They didn't want to touch it when it was deleted, when it was having a few issues, and I get that. So they sort of didn't let us down, but they sort of, wiped their hands of it a little bit, and that's fine. Um, but really, they don't care. They don't really care. It's not under warranty or anything anymore. Like it's an older machine now. It's 2017 model, 18 model. So it's not in warranty. They just fix whatever they got to fix. They've been very instrumental in figuring out what we needed to do to actually fix that AdBlue. But in the end, it was software issues with the previous tune. There's a fella in Colliambley, I'm not going to name names. He can't tune shit. Would you like to demo AF11? Yes, I would. If they ever bring us one, JP, they have been dragging their feet real bad on bringing one into Australia for some unknown reason. They think the AF9 and AF10 is going to be enough to suffice, but it's going to get eaten by the CR11 when it gets here. I'm a big fan of twin rotors after the X9. They've got a similar style rotor to the X9, similar size. They're a little bit longer and they've got more sieve area. The AF11, the AF9 and AF10 have got the same sieve area, but they're a single rotor. The AF11 and CR11 will be a monster if they can get enough horsepower. The one limiting factor for the AF10 and AF9 was horsepower, so keep that in mind. Consider a 16 row Con for X9 or I'll stick to 12 row. Yeah, did I not answer that before? I thought I answered that before. 16 row for the X9. It's got to be. For speed reasons. Do you have casuals or full-time employees? All of our employees are full-time at the moment. They're full-time at the moment. I haven't got any casuals. We have the backpackers, the two Frenchies that were on the thing. They were casual, obviously. But they've been and gone. Well, hopefully see one of them come back at harvest time to drive the other X9, hopefully, or the older X9. I'm just going to finish this up, guys. I'm running over my time here. Big Bud with the 12E92 Detroit is impressive. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm a little bit ashamed I have to... It's a little bit of a shame I have to wrap it up with 51 followers here at the moment, but anyway, I've got to jet off and do the TikTok one next. I usually do a live over on TikTok after this. What is your least favourite bit of equipment on the farm? It makes you wish you never set eyes on it. Irrigators. Irrigators, Jonathan. I hate irrigators with a passion. I understand the utility. I understand the pluses and minuses, but I hate irrigators with a passion. That doesn't mean I don't stuff with them. JB's great, very informative, seems to be able to turn his hand to anything. 100%, yeah. And that's sort of that, that's sort of the farmer's mentality around here, I've noticed too, Gavin. You've got to be good at everything, like fixing fixing, fabricating. He's very good at that fabrication style stuff as well. You sort of have to be as well, to be fair, to be a good farmer, of which he is a good farmer. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you to it. Thanks, Mark. Have a good evening yourself, and I will leave you all to it. All right, catches.